In this video, I'll show you how to modify the items that are displayed on your page, in particular what you were asking about with your address. First thing we'll do is we'll open up our IO Edition. You can do this in your IO Edition or your IO Interpreter. And we'll open a design that we want to modify. In this case, I'll select under A4 Designs, Aspects and Houses. A couple important things to remember. Number one, you are modifying this by design. If you hadn't entered your address at the outset when you installed, then it wouldn't appear, obviously, but um, you manage all of these things by design. So in this case, we're looking at aspects and houses. There are 120 different chart and graph designs in your program. You probably are only going to use a few, as most people do. You'll select those that you like and modify them to suit what you want to see. And then you can move them into your favorites for easy access. Second important thing to remember is when you're looking at a chart page like this, you're looking at a collection of graphics so that you have the capability of modifying. And you've seen in the buttons at the top left that each of these buttons have a preset with different color patterns and so on. You can set those yourself, and in other videos that we're doing, you can learn how to do that quite easily. Right now, we're going to focus on what it is that you want to do. So go up to graphics. Make sure that graphics layout has a check mark next to it. If it doesn't, select it and you'll go back and see that it does, or you can hit Command G on your keyboard. What that does is activate the graphics on the page. You'll see as I click on one, a box forms around it with a black square at the bottom, meaning that that item is active. You see I can expand it, contract it, I can move it on the page. Same thing with the chart wheel. I can make it smaller, move it, make it larger. One thing to be aware of is when you are designing on a page, unless you change the page size, make sure that you leave margins that are required by your printer. If you have an edge-to-edge printer, it's not a problem, but keep in mind that you do have limitations on printers. The item that you want to take care of is below. So as you see, I have created by, I have our address and all that information. You don't want that there for yours, so we're going to highlight it and we're going to hit the delete key and get rid of it. Next thing we're going to do is go up to the top of the screen, go to graphics, select graphics palette, make sure that your text is selected, and you'll see that you have several different items that you can control through this. We're looking at the prepared by. It's likely that in your prepared by you're going to see that you have several items checked here, the address especially. You don't want the address, deselect them. Complementary close and custom info, you may have entered custom info when you installed. If not, both of these can be managed through your preferences. Under IO Edition, select Preferences. Reference window opens, select General, and you'll see complementary close. Now you can make this whatever you want, whatever you'd like to say in here. You have a limited number of characters because there's only a limited space available on the page. So we're going to stick with created by. And I have time cycles and research in the custom information. I save it, close this window, I don't need it any longer. Now, I have complementary close highlighted, or checked, I'm sorry. I have darker. I don't want it darker, that would make it bold. I don't want that bold. I do, however, want time cycles research bold, so I'm checking that. Anything that you want bold, make sure both boxes that you want to appear on the page and make bold, check both boxes. If you don't want bold, don't check darker. You have the ability to make these flush left, center, or right, and that's the margin, that's not the position on the page. And you can also put a frame around it. Click the frame, grab this little icon just to the left of the prepared by, click down and hold, and bring it over here and let go. And you see that it has a frame around it. It says just created by Time Cycles Research. You don't want the frame, delete that. Click has a frame off. Go back and grab the icon again and drag it down onto the page in the position where you want it. Expand that a bit. Position it a little bit better. Move my chart wheel down. And I'm set to go. You can control what is in the chart title as well by, again, selecting those items that you want to display, determining whether you want them bold or dark or not, and then just delete the one that's there, drag your changes to the page, and you're set to go. Important next step. When you click to close it, it's going to ask if you want to save your changes. You do, because now every time you open this design, A4, Aspects and Houses, it will display exactly as you choose it to display. And that's true with all the elements in the chart. And again, we're doing more videos so that we can show you how to use all the graphics capabilities of your programs, but this lets you get your address taken care of now. So again, I moved it, so watch when I close. It's going to ask me if I want to save the change. Yes, I do. And that should do it. If you have questions about this, or if you want to explore other parts of it, let me know, and I'd be glad to do some additional videos, but we will be releasing those over the coming weeks. Thanks.